Hey everyone, and welcome to part 3 of my Prepare for War, Road to Civil War series here on the Talking About Stuff channel. I'm your host, Stuff, and today we're going to be talking about the Avengers. So, let's get into it. This movie was directed by Joss Whedon and, well, stars everyone. This is the origin story of the Avengers. So, Loki has stolen the Tesseract. We're just going to call it the Cosmic Cube at this point. That's what it's called in the books. That's what I prefer to call it. You don't need a technical term for it. Just call it what it is. The Cosmic Cube. So Loki steals the Cosmic Cube so he can open up a portal to unleash an alien army to help him take over the world. And so, with that, S.H.I.E.L.D. needs to form together the Avengers.
Earth's mightiest heroes type thing.
To take him down. That's pretty much the premise of the movie. I'm just gonna come out and say it.
I'm listening.
This is a fine movie.
Enough!
It's not, in my opinion, it's not just this mind-blowing movie that everyone has hyped it up to be over the years.
I am a god, you dull creature.
It's a fine movie. I recognize a lot of flaws with this movie.
And I will not be bullied by...
It's definitely not a perfect movie, in my opinion. But, nevertheless, I do like this movie. I do enjoy this movie. I don't want you to leave this video being like, he hates that movie. No. Of course I like this movie. I recognize the flaws with it. This is a movie that brought together Earth's mightiest heroes
Type thing.
all in one movie for the first time. And that, I think, is what holds the most of its weight in most people's eyes. And the other thing is Loki.
Brother of Thor.
Played by Tom Hiddleston. Everyone across the board can agree. Tom Hiddleston is Loki. Just like Robert Downey Jr. is Tony Stark, Tom Hiddleston is Loki. He is perfect in this character and perfect in this movie. Tom Hiddleston did an excellent job playing this villain in this movie. And so those are the things that lift this movie up to the level that people hold it at. Is that it's the first movie that all the Avengers were in. This is the first movie, the first time that people saw all these characters together on screen, and Tom Hiddleston as Loki. Those are like the two things that everyone can agree on. And I will agree, yes, this being that first movie that all these heroes are together in, that's a great thing. Never in my life before this did I think, oh, hey, all these characters that I read in the comic books, it would be great to see them all together on the big screen, taking on a big baddie and just fighting the good fight. Never until the first Iron Man movie, that post-credit scene where Samuel Jackson as Nick Fury is like, let's talk about the Avengers Initiative, and then, oh my gosh, that's where it starts, and it goes from there. And so I don't discredit people for that feeling. There are definitely a lot of movies that I really, really enjoy that are in like my top list of movies that I enjoy just because of that first experience with them alone. So I'm not going to discredit that for people. I recognize things about this movie that I'm just like, eh. And that would be the story. That's my biggest thing with this movie, is the story. It seems like the good moments in this movie are the humor. The humor is really good in this movie. Loki, played by Tom Hiddleston, mostly because of the way Tom Hiddleston plays Loki in this movie. And that last 40 minutes or so, where the Avengers are taking on the Chitauri, which is the alien army that Loki is bringing to Earth. Those are really the only moments that you ask any random person on the street, hey, did you see the Avengers? Yeah, I did. I really liked that movie. Tell me, what do you remember about that movie? That's what they're going to tell you. Oh, it was a funny movie. Oh, I really liked Loki in that movie. He's so awesome. He's so cool. And that fight scene at the end, that was really good. That's about all that people are going to tell you about that movie. What happened in between? Well, and that would be for writing. Just look at Loki's motives in general. He allows himself to be captured so he can unleash the Hulk. Alright, that kind of makes sense, but his motives are, I'm gonna bring this team all together so I can tear them down. Well...
And you, big fella, you've managed to piss off every single one of them.
That was the plan.
Not a great plan.
If you can have characters in your movie tear apart your movie a little bit, that's not a good thing. That's not a good thing. There are a lot of times in this movie where I'm watching it and I'm just like, really? And it's like the dialogue or just the way that the story's going, and it's like, okay. This movie, I will say, this, and this is really kind of saying a lot now too, is that this is the movie where you first get Steve Rogers and Tony Stark together. And there's not really one time where they buddy up. There's the end where they shake hands after when they part their separate ways, and that's about as friendly as they get towards one another in this movie. Their ideologies are definitely against each other. They don't see eye to eye on a lot of things, and that oftentimes makes them clash.
Put on the suit. Let's go a few rounds.
You people are so petty and tiny.
If that's what you're doing to bring you up to Civil War, that'll sell me that these characters don't see eye to eye.
Put on the suit.
Just that one scene though in the trailer where Cap's like, I'm sorry, Tony, but he's my friend. And Tony's like, so was I.
Back off.
Oh, I'm starting to want you to make me.
At least as far as I can remember, and even watching this movie, there's not really one scene where they're together like just being buddies, like having a drink, just the two of them, and really connecting and bonding in a certain way. There's never that sense.
Why shouldn't the guy let off a little steam?
You know damn well why. Back off.
To me, Tony and Steve see each other as that one coworker. And you all know what I'm talking about. That one coworker that you get along with okay. You definitely don't see things the same way. I mean, you would do something completely different than they would, but you understand why they're doing it, I guess. And you get along fine at work because you have to work together to achieve this one thing, but you never hang out outside of work. Your whole relationship, your whole involvement in that person's life and their involvement in yours is just at work. And that is the sense of relationship that I see between those two characters. Now, I'll talk about this more in a later video, but this movie definitely sells the fact that these two don't see eye to eye. So I will give this movie that. So with all that being said, I will still give the Avengers the official seal of excellence.
Bossa Nova!
Bossa Nova?
Chevy Nova? Excellent!
Now I know I've bashed this movie a lot in this video, but I still enjoy this movie. I still really like this movie. It's still a fine movie. And I know I'm just gonna get a lot of flack. This is gonna raise a lot of waves in like the geekdom and nerd world and all that. And even just normal people are like, what? You're the comic book guy and you don't love this movie? No. I recognize where it was at the time, what it meant for comic book movies at the time, and I appreciate it for that. There are moments that I really enjoy in this movie, and this is a movie that I can stick in and I can watch all the way through and be like, alright, I'm glad I sat down and did that. It's just not my favorite movie. There are other Marvel movies that I think are better. I think Marvel has gotten better since that movie, but yet at the same time I feel like that movie is better than some of the movies that have come out after it, but it's just a good movie. There are awesome parts in it. It can't reach that official seal of awesomeness, but it's good. It's good, I'll give it that. It's good. So with that, that'll wrap up part 3. If there's anything specific about this movie that you want me to talk about that I didn't cover in this movie, leave your comments down below. I would love to hear it. In fact, I would even do another video on this movie just to address those things. So, Leave your comments down below if there's anything else that you want to know. And like I said, I don't want you to think that I just hate this movie. I like this movie. I just don't love this movie. And so with that, tune back into my channel in the next couple hours, days, whenever it is you're watching this video. I'm going to be having a few more leading up to Captain America Civil War. I realize that it comes out technically Thursday night. I plan on seeing it on Friday, just because I work Thursday nights. I have been busy with just life in general, and so I'm trying really hard to get these videos done. It's probably going to happen where it's just going to be like boom, 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 boom video. I have a couple of them already filmed. I think it's just going to get to that point where I'm just going to watch the movies, I'm going to film these videos, and then I'm just going to sit down for hours upon hours just editing them all together and putting them up for you all. So thank you for being patient with me. Please tune back into this channel for these videos, and if you liked this video, please like and subscribe to it. Subscribe to my channel. I have lots of videos covering movies, TV shows, music, and more. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see y'all real soon.